Hi. Who's missing? Okay, Leslie's here. We're still getting our stuff together, so excuse the tech issues. My name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton Sehon. Super pumped because we're going to have a good time today. I'm really excited with these glorious, beautiful ladies that are here with us. Before we get started, please go to swiftfire.org, grab the newsletter, get on that, and hit the subscribe button too as well. For this channel, wherever you are watching. That way you get all the notifications and everything that's going on. No matter what's going on with censorship, at least you know what's happening, and that's a way that we can still stay connected. This whole panel came together very fluidly and beautifully because I like to pay attention to things and see what's going on and connect the dots of just how things are working. And I had a few things going on in my life where I was feeling the need to connect, to get something from moving things from online to like in person again. I know we've had a little bit of space and time where we've been in this kind of weird holding pattern, and so that happened, and I'm going to share a little bit more about that. But in the process of that, Karlyn actually reached out. Hey, Amy, can you do you have headphones by any chance? There we go. Is that you? I don't know. Maybe it's me. Sorry, it's probably me. I was in the middle of all of that, and then meantime, Karlyn reached out, and she was explaining how she was in the process of getting a space, and she's going to share about that too, and to start doing raindrop on people in person. And she's been doing her friends and like whatever, and doing some stuff on the side, but this was like a little bit more of a pull to be of more service to her community in that area. At the same time, simultaneously, Shannon and I connected again. She's a Montana girl, and I just love her. And of course, not only is she getting a classroom and doing some teaching because she's a doctor, she's a naturopath. And look, mind you, all of us have done like a zillion jobs, and we can go there too. But we're all background. We all have all kinds of certifications in health, education, energy, counseling, help, supporting people, and integration of mind, body, spirit, and different ways that we all have different modalities, which everyone can share in a few minutes too. But Shannon, when I reached out to her, we had connected, and she was also getting a classroom because she's an amazing teacher, and she's been like really feeling, okay, we got to do this. But not only that, she's jumping into politics, and that is like on my heart, of course, something that's always been something that I've been involved with, and just using her skills to work from the inside out and to be God in action in some of these places, and taking a seat with the school board, and she's in the middle of that campaign and what have you too. So that's going on. In the meantime, Leslie's doing the same thing. And this all happened within just weeks of each other. Leslie Davis and her space, she got a place, and she's going to be teaching classes on divine femme and masculine, and she can share a lot about all the energy stuff that she does, and breath work, and just beautiful work. And I, as in Montana as well, and she does theta healing, and she's someone that I've worked with for about, I don't know, a few months now. And we met in person, and we had like this, oh my God, that's a whole nother video, but you guys can go back and watch that. But we had some extremely big miracles happen with our encounter, and we've just kept in touch, and she's been on a few panels with me. But then, of course, Amy, she does like astrology with a biblical background. She explains why that all works, but she also is way into crystals like I am. All these ladies are actually. If you can see her background, everyone's got the crystals going on. But Amy does everything. She's like a yoga certified trainer. She does like emotional code, all of it. And she also happens to be partnering with me with a new project that we have gone on, because I just bought a retreat center. I haven't announced that till just now. That's the first time I ever said that out loud to a public place. But some of you know that I actually had a wellness center while back. And in 2016, we got 12 feet of water from a ginormous flood that happened in Louisiana. And basically, I had literally only had the place about a month or two. And all of a sudden it was like, okay, well, I guess that's not working. So we did our best to campaign to see if we could get funds to get it back. And then I was having some health issues, and it was kind of like, are we going to work towards getting this back and really work there? Or am I going to work on me and make sure I'm still on the planet? So did some things to make sure, and that was literally a part-time job just to be here. And so got all that straight. I've had numerous opportunities to take a job in a practice over these last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It's been 5 years. And but just wasn't feeling it, and was, doing a lot online, doing a lot of consultations, doing everything, with my show, and, thinking I'm going to help masses amount of people in a video or a show or consultations in groups or sessions versus like seeing one-on-one. But just recently, just felt that tug to, jump in and get some place, a real place where we can serve in person and love on some people in real life, do some retreats, have some modalities. And Amy, I don't know, can you show it in the background? Will it show up? This is actually right there in the corner. I don't know. Can you point to it, Amy? That thing right there in the background, that is now my retreat center right there on the river. It's a beautiful, gorgeous spot, and Amy happens to live right by it, and we'll be doing a lot of modalities there and different things to come. We're in the process of working through when that's going to happen and how we're going to do it. And so I look forward to having you guys all there who are on the panel to come with me and do some retreats and to serve in that matter and just teach, as well as Florida and Montana and my other places that we have to bring, some teaching and some education and help some people. And also look forward to all of you who are watching to not only connect with what I'm doing, but with all of these beautiful ladies and what they're doing. But the biggest thing is, I had a feeling if all of this is going on for us, then how much more is this happening in your neck of the woods? Like, what are you people who are watching feeling? Are you thinking like, hey, maybe you've had a hunch to jump out and be in your community serving and doing what you're called to do, and not just, sitting on the sidelines anymore, or, whatever the situation is. But, I have this feeling like, okay, if we're all in this spot, there's probably hundreds of thousands of others who are in the same spot that maybe just didn't get that nudge to jump out because of fear, or just feeling like, oh, this is kind of crazy. Because I think everyone on this panel was like, that's kind of crazy. Am I going to do this? That, I don't know. Even me, I was like, oh, this doesn't make sense. This, why would I be doing this like right now? But, and I know even Karlyn had that, like, is this weird? Is this, what do you think? And then I know Leslie was like, I'm thinking about doing this. I don't know. Can you like send vibes? And all of us, every one of us have had that. And so probably you guys are feeling that too. And we just wanted to share our experiences, and then maybe ignite and activate all of you watching, that if this is you and you're feeling some ComeUnity in your field to get out and do something, that this would be the time that you do it, and that you would really remember you are not crazy. Like, this is your time, and we're supposed to be hands and feet and get out there and do stuff. So without further ado, I would love to have each of you guys share a little bit, kind of how you got there, what you're doing, and, the process that you're, still maybe in, as we are walking this out. I'm going to start with and Big Fork. Should I say Big Fork? She's in Montana. I'll say that. And we'll just go around the circle. Yes, 3 Montana girls here.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you for having me here, and I'm just so great it just feels great to have like all these beautiful, like empowering panels with me here. So I'm just really excited about this. My name is Yuasa-Green, and I am a theta healing instructor and also a holistic nutritional therapy coach. And I started out with very 3D, like the nutrition, and then like really like making ourselves healthy from the physical level. But on that journey, I just felt a little limit that I just had to go into deeper cause of the vibrational cause, the emotional cause, the more soul purpose, or just whatever it is that's in our subconscious mind, holding that limit us from being really in the radiant health. So that got me on my journey to explore the theta healing work, which is really active form of meditation to tap into the what it is like vibrationally, that what we are feeling or what sets us back. And so I'm just really excited to harness this different level of entrance way to the wellness. And yeah, I've been doing the online teaching and then online sessions quite a bit after the COVID hit. And I did previously maintain the office and the big work, sharing with other healers. However, with the COVID, and I really focused on doing the sessions in rather than in person online. And I really enjoyed that. And then that I really enjoyed the time of connection with the world, with everybody else that I can easily connect. But then after 2 years of doing that, I just felt this calling to really go back to the basics. And that I just was starting to crave this, like it just eye contact or like feeling the vibration directly, more traditional, more I don't know, whole body experience. And I don't know, it didn't make sense to me to get back up started renting an office, but I just didn't know that I intuitively knew in my gut that that's the direction that I needed to go. And also as I expand my mind into more of the invisible world, invisible connection, that I felt like I need to come back to myself and to really start from the grounding, that so that I can expand and then that reach out even higher, and then the more if I have that foundation really stronger. So this year that I felt like I wanted to build my physical strengths, really harnessing like all that I am in the physical sense, the 3D sense. And then I really wanted to be a conduit of connecting the more spiritual world with the physical world. And that to do that, like to make that more accessible to people, that I just wondered if any like a casual place that I can just get together with other people. It doesn't have to be a session, but maybe just an entrance way to get into hearing about it or meditating together, so that we can kind of reestablish that connection and what it felt like, kind of remembering it, what it felt like to be truly connected in the physical sense as well. Because that's, after all, that's what we are here to do, right? Living on this planet, living in this world, really embracing, we chose to be here. So just really honoring that, so that we can like even expand even more afterwards, after we harness each other in this world here now. So I'm just really excited to hear everybody else's journey and perspective on how they got there, so that that I can feel the resonance with the rest of the world, everybody else feeling that way.
Awesome. Yes. And we have Heather. Actually, I'm going to give a shout out to Heather O'Neill. She is actually doing the same thing in Florida too. I just want to give her a shout out because she stepped out and is doing this too. But yeah, I've worked with tons of wellness centers all over as a consultant and are going places, including the one in Kalispell. That's a big one. I've even done stuff abroad, but now it's like my time, and I'm just ready for like my time. So, and Amy is going to be a big part of that. And I'm just super excited to partner with her and all of you. But Amy happens to just live next door to me, and that's just been a divine situation. But she literally lives walking distance from the property. So Amy, go ahead and share how this thing is working out for you and what you do, and go for it.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So we kind of let this, it fell in our laps in a way. It was a very beautiful process. The whole situation, even how I moved out here to be Sharnael's neighbor. And astrology wise, we were talking
Yes.
about this, and with everyone wanting to like move into or feeling called to moving into working in person again. Um, I believe that it has a lot to do with the collective energy of Jupiter moving into Pisces, which Jupiter or Pisces is Jupiter's home sign. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and Pisces is the sign of mysticism and healing and connection. And it's also the 12th sign in the zodiac. So it's a little bit of all of the other signs, which brings like a sense of, um, that relatable energy where you can connect one on one really well. And so this is, I believe this transit is for about the next 8 months, but it's just such a great energy to tap into and take advantage of, and get into that community sense again. And with us, with the wellness center, it was like for me personally, it was like bam, bam, bam. I went from being at home all the time, during COVID and everything, but I was at home before that too, working out of yoga studios and such. But I ended up taking a job at a co-working space. So I'm back around people and entrepreneurs, and my chart personally, my moon is in my 10th house of career. And so emotionally, my career is very important to me. And so, and it also, other people who have careers that are important to them, like that lights me up and gets me excited. So I have that going on, and possibly another studio that I'm going to be working out soon. So for doing raindrop and Reiki and that kind of work. But yeah, so, and then Sharnael and I are anxiously awaiting the unfolding of this wellness center. Like, so many plans, can't wait to see it happen. So
Super
thank you.
cool. Awesome. And by the way, everybody on here can do sessions and don't forget, definitely connect with all of these guys. If you're not following these guys, get on their Instagram, get on, their Facebook pages, like see what they're doing. It's really, these guys are great and they have great content and education and support to everybody. So definitely, I'm just encouraging everybody to jump on and do that. And two, for the record, because we want to keep this on Facebook, let's not say the C word because they will strike it off of our YouTube. And so I want to keep that. So we'll just say like motion for this if you got to say that word. But awesome. All right, Leslie, let's go. What you got? Oh, wait, it's muted. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. Yay.
My connection's messing up, so we'll choose for it to stay on. But yeah, so what happened for me was a couple of things. I'm a women's coach, and what I saw happening with consistent clients was the feminine and masculine really kept rising as something that was not in balance, right? And something that was affecting them in a very, very large way in their life. And so I noticed that, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But my overall basis is not really feminine, masculine necessarily. It's just kind of plays a piece of the puzzle, right? I think most of us on here, we're really puzzle masters. Like we put all these different things together. And so one day I was actually sitting and just meditating, and I just saw me actually sitting in front of a group of women teaching feminine in person. I was like, whoa, that's interesting. And I mean, it was really powerful in the way that I could see that it was shifting them and inspiring them and like allowing them to really understand some things in their life that maybe they've been wanting to shift, but they haven't quite gotten there. Like I was moved to tears kind of thing. It was really intense. And we're still in the works as far as the location. Chatting with someone this week, so we'll see. But I really saw it unfolding like a 4-week thing for us, and then also addressing some of the masculine. Because when I speak with not just my clients, but also my friends and even males, there's certain dynamics that when you really begin to understand it, up levels not just your personal perception, but also your relationship with other humans. Definitely, romantic relationships for sure, even just parent-child. There's such an aspect to it of understanding it, and it kind of starts as principle in the mind, and then you get to really like play with it and apply it. And that's when people really say like, oh my God, like I had someone say to me the other day, like, oh my gosh, if I had known this, because the person was no longer married, like when I was married, that would have been really helpful. And so it's just this whole expanding, but I really feel like right now, as far as the community, I'll be focused on the feminine and masculine principles and kind of coming to more of an understanding with that.
Love it. Awesome. All right, Shannon. Dr. Shannon Johnson, what's up?
Hello, everybody. I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much. Everybody needs to vote my victory so the voice stays clear and on, because the past 3 days I have not had a voice. So thank you so much, like I said, for having me on here. I'm so excited to share with you. For me, a little bit about me. I am a doctor of natural health, and I do raindrops. I'm a massage therapist. So I do all of those things, but teaching is really a passion of mine, no matter what it is. If it's something that I feel I have a grasp on, I want to give back to someone else and help them get to the place that I've gotten to. That's how we help each other along. We have to turn around and help others get to where we have come. And I believe that our purpose and destiny has a lot to do with that. When we overcome something big in our lives, our next step is to turn around and bring the rest that are behind us and bring them up, to level them up as well. So I really, really enjoy that. For me, this started, I would say, early 2021 when I had a dream, just kind of out of the blue. Actually, I had two dreams, but one of them was Dr. Gary Young from Young Living Oils. And I had never had the pleasure of actually meeting him in person before. So this dream was very interesting to me, because when he came to me in this dream, he seemed to have this urgency, like he had to go, but he said, I need you to finish this for me. Will you do it? Will you take this and finish it? And at first I hesitated. I was like, oh, no, I don't think I'm your girl. And he's like, no, I did all of this for you. And as he swept his hand around, I could see pictures of all of the farms and every single place that he had cultivated and researched, and all of the work that he did on this planet to get us where we're at and give us the knowledge that so many of us have. That he said, will you please finish this for me? And I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'll do it, and I was a little bit reluctant. And then the next thing I know, I have a 12, 13-year-old girl. And for those that are not aware, that, in dream language, that basically means, like, if you give an infant, you're beginning something, or something new is starting. And in this case, I had a preteen. And I talked to the lovely Sharnael about it, because I thought there's something here, and I know she's going to be able to help me with this. So when I called her, two things resonated with me. She said, how long have you been with Young Living? And it was about 12 to 13 years at that point in time. And then I'll never forget this, and I think about it a lot. She said, Shannon, stop playing small, because there was that reluctance and kind of almost that hesitation in me, which for most of my life, I would feel a rising up and something like, I want to go do this. And then, the fear, the doubt, the anxiety, whatever it is, which is straight from the pit of hell, it pulls you back down. And the second dream I had was kind of along the same lines. I was in France, and for some reason, a lot of my dreams take place in France. But there was a woman there who could speak English, and I needed her help, and I was trying to find a room at a hotel. And she looks at me and looks kind of right through my eyes. Have you ever had somebody look right straight through you? And she said, we need what you carry. And she was so serious. And I was like, cool, can I just get a hotel room right now? But essentially what the rest of that dream was about was that it was the natural health that I carry, or that the natural healing gifting. And I don't want to bore you all with the rest of the details of that dream, but essentially that's what that dream was about. And that they were within weeks apart. And so I thought, okay, I can't shake these, and I can't shake like how I feel from having these. And I thought, okay, I'm being pulled. Now's the time. So I immediately devised a plan and got an office. It has been 6 months since I basically got that classroom. They had to build it in the building that I was looking in. And it took about 6 months for them to finish it. And I just got it. It was just finished like a week ago. So, or a couple of weeks ago. So the timing on that was very interesting. I knew what I needed to do, and I set out and I started to dig my ditch, right? I wanted to go and put the first step of faith, that action step forward, and say, okay, Lord, I'm going to dig this ditch. You're going to fill it for me. So simultaneously, while that was all going on, there were some things happening, obviously, in the world with school boards and what was happening with parents going in and speaking. I myself went into our school board here and spoke 2 different times about and masks and, just all of the information around that, and really didn't feel like they were listening. And it was right around that time where I felt this fire. And for some of you who might know me, I'm pretty fiery anyway. And I got so much more fire. And it was like I couldn't stop. I could not stop it. Like, before I could play small or I could shut it down. And in this case, no way. Like, every single thing that I did, every day I woke up, all I could think about was, I'm going to come for your chair. I'm going to start putting these decisions back that are right back into our school boards. So I decided to run for school board, and the election is May 3rd. So y'all vote my victory, please. I'm really excited. I have a great group of people around me that are supporting me. The parents are, the outpouring from parents is incredible. This is the biggest thing that I think I've done in my life, but I can't explain it any better than to say that, just like A was talking about earlier, you start with 3D and, you're working on supplements and all of that kind of stuff. But the higher up you level up, dimensionally speaking, and the higher you resonate, it's like the world expands and gets so much bigger, but yet there is this power behind it, and you can't ignore it, and you just need to take action and go with it, because there's a purpose for every single thing that comes up. And I'm only, this fire, what it did for me was it shut down fear. I don't care if I lose my job anymore. I don't care, I want to conduct what I feel I'm being pulled to do, which is part of my destiny and my journey on this earth. And a lot of that is helping other people, helping parents find their voice and getting involved in their children's education again. And I don't think it's any coincidence that I do love teaching. I am not a teacher by trade, but I just naturally love to teach. So it really does kind of go together. And, I'm not backing down. I'm not afraid. I'm coming for their chair. And keep watch on social media, because you can follow along and watch when I take that seat. So,
yay! I love it so much. You're making me. I'm like in tears over here when you're talking about Gary and these dreams. And you're right. When you just know, no matter what it is. It doesn't always have to make sense, guys. Like, whoever's watching. It doesn't matter the background that we have either. Every one of us have had a zillion jobs. I know I've worked at like banks and hospitals, and I taught aerobics and was a trainer, and worked at the mall, and, did 20 years of ministry. And I mean, I've literally done everything from waitressing to working at the Girl Scouts place. I sold lemonade. I sold my blood for like 2 years when I was in the middle of a divorce and had zero. Like, we didn't even have a place to live. But yet, when you get into your groove and you're honest and true and living your passion and doing what's in your heart, everything just comes together. The people show up, the resources show up, the building or the retreat center or the people to work it out all show up. And so I want to encourage you guys, if you're feeling the unction to do whatever it is, whether it's politics or some kind of new job or spiritual practice or be an influencer in some way, wherever that avenue is, do it. And just don't be afraid, like Shannon's saying, or do it afraid. If you are afraid, just do it anyway, and then watch. But Karlyn, actually, I employed her. I was like, please, will you do this? When we had our women's retreat in Florida last year, she's come before as a guest, and I was like, hey, would you mind coming and doing raindrops on people if they choose to get a raindrop during the retreat on their downtime? And she was like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden was like, yay, this is cool. So it kind of like, I think, jump started a little bit of it. But Karlyn, share your story a little bit.
Oh, hey, everybody. It's great to be here. And that is right. That's what jump-started this. Because I tend to be the reluctant one. Even though I have that fire too, I tend to listen to that other voice, that's trying to tell me it's not time. Or in fact, I saw somebody's comment on there, I am older. And I was like, if I keep waiting, I will be much older. But the raindrop thing came up. After I had done the raindrops at our Destin retreat, I told Dr. Sharnael that really was a catalyst for me, because I've been doing them for over 6 years for free on family and friends. And I could not charge. And I know that's like a value thing. That's something I'm working through. But this thing came up with in a massage and salon where a friend of mine works. They had a room open, and just this little fleeting thought, maybe I could, set up a raindrop room there. And right after that, I don't remember I choose to remember if I got a text or a call from you, and it just, I kind of told her, I was like, well, this opportunity, and you were like so on board, like, yes, like so enthusiastic about it. It just kind of was like, it ignited what was in me. So I went ahead and took that step, and I've been in here now. And it was a step, I felt the confidence at the time, but then once I stepped into it, then I was like, ooh, am I doing this like prematurely? But then I was thinking, I've been doing this for 6 years. How much longer am I going to wait? Like, how much do I have to know? Do I have to be able to talk all about every benefit and all the, Dr. Stewart already did all that research, and I had, his class, but it was, I needed that catalyst and that encouragement, and to just move forward with that. Oh, my battery is running low. Lovely. But I'm so grateful that I did. I feel like this is a time in my life I've stepped through something, and it's I'm being bolstered or carried with like drawn by something that is really in me, but I've been hesitant, and I don't even like the word fear. I don't like to even think that I have fear, but it is fear, being raw and honest about it. It's fear that holds us back from things, or just thinking that we need to be perfect at what we're doing before we actually step out and, bring our gift. And I know I'm a helper, and I'm fun, and there are just so many things that I love to do that when I rein it in or hold it back, because it's like, ooh, you're too much, like, notch it back a little bit, then it, I've put a damper on myself. But I feel like this is just like the door I had to step through right now to bring me onto greater things. And because one other thing, I've been very reluctant, like throughout my life, to get certified in whatever. It's like I'll learn as much as I possibly can on my own, but taking that step to be certified, it's I haven't been able to do it yet. And I'm, always talking with Dr. Lucky, or just trying to find out what's at the bottom of that. So who knows where I'll be at the next time we talk. I'll have some letters after my name.
Well, and speaking of certified, is everybody on here certified? Isn't everyone certified in raindrop that's on here? Okay, Shannon is. Amy is. Awesome. I was thinking you went, Leslie. You didn't go. I did certification. I taught certifications for like 7 years straight. But someone is asking, what is raindrop? Julie is certified. Can someone share what raindrop is? Amy or Shannon, somebody who's certified?
Oh, there we go. Wrestling with Mike. So raindrop therapy is a feather light technique. It's not quite a massage, but you are on a massage table, and there's a series of 9 essential oils that are dropped about a couple inches above your spine, which is the raindrop, and you can feel it when the drops hit your back. And it's a technique where those oils are worked gently into the spine on either side. And then at the very end, there is a hot compress that opens up the pores and helps to drive those oils deeper into the tissues. And what the oils do, and I'm not going to go into all the benefits because there's a ton, but they help to detoxify certain things, and it ends up coming out the skin of your back. So after I had my first one, I vowed that I would never have a deep tissue massage again because it was so delicious. And you grow. We measure you before you get on the table and measure you again when you get off the table and your spine lengthens. I grew almost an entire inch after my first one. And it's basically because those oils are kind of addressing all of the bodily systems, and it helps to release the muscles and the stress, the tension, and all of that. Automatically, those oils go to do a lot of work. So those of us that conduct raindrop, we're facilitators. That's it. The bulk of the work happens with the oil and the person receiving. And the person receiving is that's their space and their time to just meditate and really like dive into whatever it is that they need. And I'm telling you, many, many times I have experienced nothing short of just magic happening for people, and people getting freed of things. And in general, people feel amazing afterwards. And it can last up to 7 to 10 days later as well. So there you go, little synopsis.
Yes, and each of the oils have frequency, so it will bring up your vibration. And also, I mean, there's so many different things. She covered it really, really well. But I've had major emotional releases with people that we've worked with, and people. I had one lady who was like allergic to cats for like her whole life, and then all of a sudden she's like getting cats, and I could go on for stories forever. But yeah, so one thing I want to go around and ask is my mom's here. Hey, mama. Some of the jobs that you may have had in the past, and or what was your biggest hurdle like to get to where you finally were like, okay, yes. I mean, we heard Shannon had a dream that was, some sort of activation or inspiration or demarcation for her, which we know in dreams, you can get messages, you can get activations, you can get impartations, you can get healing. You can wake up with wisdom. Solomon had a dream and woke up and was like the wisest person ever. I have a whole teaching on dreams on my website if anyone just wants to dive into dreams. But not everyone who was on here had a dream to jump in. Like how can you define like that hurdle of perception of like, okay, you know what? I've been working at the bank all this time, or I've been a stay-at-home mom, or, doing something that's completely different. And then we're all of a sudden we're like, no, this is it. How did you make that jump? I know, Leslie, I'll start with you. She's a photographer and a mom and homeschools, and like she does everything. All of us have like many, many jobs for sure. And we're all moms. So there's that balance. But, she was working it hard in photography and super successful doing it. So I'll start with you, Leslie. Like some of the stuff you've done in the past, and Lord, when you get that, it seems foreign to be like, no, this is it now. I mean, I know I was like late 30s when I got the call to go back to school to be a doctor, and I'm like, oh my God, I have 3 kids at home. like go back to college and get my doctorate. Like, really? This seems like, you know, I'm speaking of the lady who said I'm too old or I'm older. Shoot, I'm just getting a retreat center in my 50s. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter about age. So Leslie, go ahead.
Well, I was a photographer, and I still do a little bit just for friends and different people I know on the side. But for me, I went through an awakening where like I was ready to get off the crazy train, is what I called it. So that was one big shift for me. And I just went down in that personal development, personal growth road. Like nothing changes if nothing changes. So many of us, we desire to do things different, but we kind of have this perception that they're going to appear. We don't understand it. It's kind of more of a belief, thought, feeling, action. Like it all leads into each other, and you have to kind of embody and really move as that person. So that kind of happened. And then recently, even as I really kind of made it public that I was going to be doing coaching, because I actually had clients, and like no one knew I did this. I had people paying me to coach before I publicly like coached. It was the craziest thing, because I was really intimidated and fearful of, you know, what people would say. This embodiment for me really came. I do human design. It's a modality of looking at like your energetic blueprint, kind of similar to what Amy does with charts, which I love all the things, Amy. And playing with your strategy and authority in human design, which is a way that you make decisions. It really lets you tap in and begin to learn to trust yourself and really be led. And so it's kind of that, a combination of just like tapping into my strategy and authority and my intuition and being willing to do it differently, because the only real failure is if you don't try. And like just being okay with it. Like, what if, for me, it's like, and looking the fear in the face, like if the worst case scenario happened, like letting that play out mentally for me is like, I would still be fine. You know what I mean? Like, it's like really minute when you look at it like that. And so that really helps strengthen my own trust in myself. And then there's the fact that I have my own practices and I show up for myself and I consistently build that trust. So my human and my heart are able to kind of mix, because your human sometimes needs some evidence, you know, like your human needs that shift. And so that's kind of what happened for me, is you just get to a place, I think, where you're like, the desire becomes greater than the fear. Like that divine desire within you, like this invisible pull, is so much greater, or maybe even just incremental greater. And I'll be honest, like I've worked with coaches and I've worked with people that have held that space for me and mentored me. I didn't just do it on my own. I didn't, you know, I had a lot of guidance, and that it did play a major role. It really helped me move through things way faster. So that was kind of my journey.
Yes. And everybody on here coaches and does a great job. And you got a shout out over here from Paris about your gifted work. So, yes. Awesome. I want to hear from I too, because I don't even know your background before you were doing theta healing. What were you doing, and what was your jump when you finally were like, you know what, I'm going to take these classes and get some training? And then now she's not only a practitioner, but she's actually training instructors as well. So what was your background?
So, in a way, I always knew where I was headed. I always wanted to create comfort for everybody else around me. So, ever since I graduated from college, I've always been in the wellness field. But my problem was that I never really valued myself or what I could do, because to me, if I could do it, then everybody else could do it. Or if I naturally do it, then I didn't place a value in it. So I didn't feel like I was an influencer, or I can be a very effective practitioner, or like I wasn't that go-getter or the motivator. And then so I kind of like step back all the time. I was always in a supportive role. Supporting the I used to work for Nutritional Therapy Association, training nutritional therapists, and just kind of in the background. And I was really content hiding behind that. Everybody that's doing it, and I just step back and I just watch them, and that was my contentment. But I really realized that what I wanted was the kinder people to remain kind, and compassionate person to remain compassionate. Somebody who are shy can stay shy, but then still radiate their own light. And then the click for me was that what if I could do that? I could be a role model. I don't have to be loud. I don't have to be like forceful or like motivator or anything, but then just me being who I am and then starting to reach out with my gift, what little like it that I came, if I can shine my little light in my corner of the world, then what would that be for somebody else? Maybe that would change somebody's like experience. Maybe they can light their own inner light, and then they can feel empowered in changing and shifting the vibration of this planet. So that was like me being courageous. And for me, the Theta Healing actually came to my town. The founder and everything, like a world headquarters of Theta Healing, happened to come to my town, and then it just everything, all the events lined up that I ended up meeting that, and I actually got to know everybody involved in that even before I got to know what Theta Healing was. I just got to know the founder's family before I knew Theta Healing, and just everything clicked, and then. When I felt like it felt like the universe was kind of like, helping me going in that direction. And I, like you said, I didn't understand what it meant, but I felt like I needed to follow the breadcrumbs of what felt right to me. And then I just faithfully followed that without questioning. And I came here to where I am. And the one igniter for me was actually trouble with my husband. Because when I was awakening myself and then coming to a different perspective, different realization, he thought that I lost my mind. And then this is like the person that's my best friend and I love him. But then he thought like, oh my gosh, she's going crazy doing this energy work, the esoteric work. And then, she was grounded person doing nutrition and science before, but now she's like lost her marbles. And, we actually had that little conflict there. But then at that time, though, that I really realized that he was taking on the role of igniting my fire, that I wanted this. I wanted to be in this field. I wanted to pursue this, even if it offended somebody that was so important to me. The person that mattered to me the most was against what I wanted to do, and I still wanted it. And then that was like, wow, like I need to do this. I need to decide. I need to move forward. And so now that he is supportive, he likes my singing bowls and all that. But initial resistance was there. But then I just so appreciate his resistance and then the turmoil that we had together, because that was a clarification for me that I knew that I needed to pursue, and then I needed to own it instead of sort of doing it or hiding in the background. I needed to come forefront and then just to really claim that this is the path that I needed to follow. So.
I love it. That is such a freaking important thing to think about. And I have had my share of people who thought I was a little bit nuts. And I think everyone on here has had their share of people who thought they were a little bit nuts. I thought I was a little bit nuts. I mean, it's like, what? But, if we can, I don't know if I've ever looked at it like you just presented that, of like, that was their role to give me the fire to do. Because I'm the kind of person, if you're like, oh, you're not going to do that, you'll suck at it. That's terrible. You're crazy. That actually is the worst thing you could do, because I'm going to do it like 100 million times faster every day, like all the way till Sunday. Because that's just my personality. It's like, I'll show you. No, I can do this. And so it kind of ricochet, backfires a little bit when people say, oh, you'll never do that. But, I don't know. I love that you brought that up. That's a really good thing to bring up as well. Yes. So, oh gosh, you guys, we're running out of time. I can't believe this has gone so fast. Para says she's tearing up. Yes. Anyone who's ever worked with any of you, one thing I can say about all of you is you are felt. We can feel your love. I have definitely feel you when I'm working with you, and I've been in your presence, and I understand your heart and your intention as a teacher, as someone who loves people, humanity. Your act of service is always just so pure. And I just really, really appreciate every one of you. And I wish we had like a ton of more time. And also, can you just go around and say like how we can find you and wrap up here? Again, we might have to do this again, but maybe on a different topic, we could do another one. But can you go around and just share where people can find you and connect with you besides your Facebook pages and social media pages? Like what's your handle, your website, if you have one? Go ahead.
I can start.
Yes.
My website is creativelightwellness.org. And you can go on there and schedule consults with me. And I have both virtual and in-person appointments available. And the classroom is getting set up, so those are not out there quite yet. But then on social media, you can find me at Creative Light 16, just like my tag says right here.
Awesome.
I'll just go. Go ahead. I guess I'll just go now. So my name is, my handle name on Instagram is right here too, the aiology works, aiology_works. And then there's a link to my website and things like that too. So you can find me on the Instagram.
Awesome.
Okay. My Facebook and Instagram would be Leslie Davis. A podcast called The High Vibe Soul, which I kind of let lay for a little while. It's about to pick back up. And I also have a Facebook group called the High Vibe Soul Collective.
Awesome. Amy, Karlyn, how can we find you?
Everything, all of my links are on amyleopard.com, including my main website. And there's a energy group, and the chart readings link and that kind of thing. So everything that's going on.
Awesome.
And
Karlyn.
leopard, like the cat.
Yes. Cat.
And mine is, I've had a lull for a while. And but on Facebook it's Karlyn Abdalla, Abdalla, and then Instagram also. I'm not on Twitter anymore. I don't have a website yet. And where I am doing the raindrops right now is at a place in DeRidder, Louisiana called Hands with Heart. So you can just message me, and I respond to messages. Well, and I've loved being on here today. Thank you for all this. I love you guys.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate all of you guys too. And you guys can find me at swiftfire.org. Definitely, I do. I have a ton of resources and coaching. I do biofeedback scans remote. Yeah, we have the show here. We definitely, I think everybody here uses essential oils. We do trainings on that too as well. And one more time, I would love Amy to show us the retreat center. I don't know if you could see it with the way. Yeah, one more time. I just want you guys to see that little place over there on the water. That is our new retreat center. Oh my God, we're working on a name to come up with that. But we have already bought like kayaks and bonfire setting up things, and we're gonna have to get like furniture, and there's a little bit of some things to work out for sure. But I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys there, or Florida, or Montana, or somewhere in live, real person. And I just appreciate every one of you for being on with us today and sharing your story and encouraging people out there. If this is in your heart to get out there and do whatever you're supposed to do in your space, literally in your physical space, this is the time to do it. You have got it in you. You are not crazy. You are called. There is a difference. And sometimes the calling looks a little bit weird, but whatever, just do what we've been saying, follow those breadcrumbs and, see, write some things down, get a coach. Coaching is really important. And I think that every one of us have had coaches, and just self-development and, learning. We're all teachers. We all are eternal students as well. We're constantly, I know these people very well, and we're always studying. We're always reading. We're always learning. We've all had our share of coaches and teachers that have helped kind of kick us in the butt to have accountability and to do the things. And these things are so critical right now in this season more than anything, because we are the ones. There isn't going to be someone who's going to do it for you. You are the one. And especially if it's not out there yet, it's because it's in you to be that. Forever, I was like looking for, this building, or looking for this, or looking for, this spiritual person that was going to do the things that were in my mind. And one morning I heard, build what you've been looking for. And I knew, oh my gosh, it doesn't exist yet, because I'm the one. And I love that Shannon is taking her seat, and that we're all taking our seats in whatever avenues that is in this season, because that is what we're here for. Like she said earlier, or somebody said here earlier, we're here to be God in action, and to love well, and to help people with what we know, to help facilitate and get an activation for all of you. So definitely connect with these guys. Hit the subscribe. Definitely share this, please, video. You never know who's going to watch this interview, and it's going to spark something, because I think we can actually make a world shift. And who knows how or what somebody's going to see this and go, you know what, I'm doing it. And just give them that little push to go out and do whatever they're supposed to do. I can't do what you guys do. You can't do maybe what we do, but you can do what we can all do, what we're here to do each. And that's what brings like the blessing and the love on the planet, the diversity of what we all know and what we're called to do, and the way we express and communicate as we teach and move in those ways, those giftings. And so it's really important that everyone get fully online right now, fully activated, and getting in that place where you're doing what you're supposed to be doing with the people that you're supposed to be doing it with. Those are the two things: is do what you're supposed to do with the people that you're supposed to do it with in this time, and then we can actually make a difference. So love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Everyone is saying, where's the retreat? Virtual hug. Got people from the UK on here. Me too. Mary's out here. Denise. Love you guys. Coaching session. Coaching, yeah, depending. I just go to swiftfire.org or follow these guys depending on what you're looking to get. Someone's ready to relocate. Yeah, we got lots of people. Great timing. Thank you, ladies. Lots of great feedback. And love you guys all. We'll see you next time, and talk soon.